Welcome to this very special edition of the KJ Masterclass Live, the show which ensures that you profit from your time spent here with experts, either through the industry insights, information, or simply learning from them. And today we have Khoa, CEO and founder of Sutudu and Kvibe Studios. Welcome to the show, Khoa.
Thanks, AJ. Thanks for having me.
Great, great. It's a great pleasure to have you on the show, my friend. And we'll be talking about entrepreneurship and NFTs and brand development with NFTs and several things related to NFT and Web3. But first, my first question to you, Kwa, is to understand nowadays there is less talk happening on NFT, crypto, and why have things gone silent? Though we know a few reasons, but just to understand from somebody who is following this space very, very
Yeah.
closely.
Well, first of all, I think the issue is that you got a lot of people that went into the space with the wrong mindset. They went into the space not trying to solve problems. They went into the mindset trying to make money. That's the first issue. That's number one. So my background is that I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I run besides the business that you mentioned, I do have other businesses as well. And my successes has come from trying to solve problems, not trying to make money. So I look at like success as like I look at business like a car, and I look at the money like gas. You don't go into the business, you don't go to buy a car for the gas, but you need the gas to get you from point A to point B. I go buy the car so I get from point A to point B, just like I would do my business from point A to point B. So the issue around, I would say 99% of the people, they go in there not trying to solve a problem. They go in there because they're just trying to flip a coin, trying to flip, making money. And yes, some of them made off with a lot of money. And there's nothing wrong with making money. It's just that you're in the wrong mindset. So when things explode or implode on you, then you're in big trouble, right? And so a lot of these projects fail because it never really solved any problems. And so that's why I think that you see this whole industry going through a really big decline. But that's a good thing. It gives opportunities for people to say, hey, the people that are trying to do good, they'll come up, they'll rise from the crop, and the ones that does will solve those problems, and they will succeed. And it's like kind of like the internet, the internet boom. People went in there trying to make money and they didn't work out, and the ones that solved problems made a lot, are still existing today.
Right, right, Kwa. But can you spell out who is responsible for this? Is it, see, you cannot stop anybody from making money the legal way. Then why? And there was so much of, I'm not trying to, we'll not discuss, make this as the topic of discussion, but just to understand from the audience point of view, people who have already invested money into this, and as a technology, as a future, NFTs in all walks of life is a reality. Maybe there is a debate around crypto and all that stuff. That's a different space. But if people lose interest or trust in a thing like this, a technology like this, then how would it impact? Because the future of entrepreneurship, Web3, brand development, a lot of things that you are doing is related with this space. So
Right.
you are the right person. That's why you are the master for today's master class, to give that understanding to people as to, I don't want to take any names, but who is it? Can just a bunch of people, or you can say their urge to make money faster out of this technical technology opportunity is going to ruin the future for everybody? How does it look from where you are sitting at?
Well, in my opinion, I look at it as that it's obviously not a single person's problem. It's not just a single company's problem. I think it's a society problem. I think it's just the way where I think the way capitalism works is that it's not a perfect product. It's not a perfect situation. And so when all this crypto stuff happened, it happened because of the financial crisis in 2008 that happened in America, and it caused it created a whole ripple effect across the world. And so all this, there's no this whole the traditional route of doing it. If you think about it, fairly not an old it's fairly new. It's not this financial capitalism has been around for thousands of years, you know. And so we go, as humans, we want to. I believe this. As humans, we want to always evolve and find more efficient ways, because sometimes the system does not work for some people, you know. And if it doesn't work for some people, people look for new solutions. And if Web3 and crypto and NFTs is a solution, they're gonna try it out. But people just prepared to get burned out of it. It's a very new technology. It's a platform. Blockchain is a platform, right? And it's still emerging. And when you think about that, NFTs, Web3 is really not even a decade old yet. And it takes about a decade for anything to actually have that sense of mass adoption, right? I could say that I think majority of the people now actually heard of an NFT before. I would say about 2 years ago, nobody heard of what that NFT was about. So it's coming pretty quickly. But the NFTs is it a scam? Is it bad for you? It's a scam if you work with scammers. It's not a scam if you work with legit people. Unfortunately, there's a lot more scammers than there are with legit people, or people don't, and I think that's because people don't understand NFTs. And I also think that it's not regulated, because the people that does regulations, they don't understand it. If they don't understand it, how they're going to approach it. So I think what we're seeing is that people are kind of sitting back. Let's see what happens. Let's see who gets killed along the way, and then let's see what we can learn from, like FTX. FTX is a bad thing for the industry, sure. Hurt a lot of people. However, it's a great thing for the long run, because we're going to be able to learn from it, and people are going to say, hey, how do we prevent this from happening again? That's a good thing. And so we always have to look at two sides of it. Yes, I mean, the media, I would say it's, you want to blame it's media, right? Media likes to take bad things and blow it up, and then anything that's good, they kind of put it under the rug. It's not a good story. It's a good story. It's too of a good story. I'll give them 1 minute of it and then not talk about it anymore. But when it comes to something with drama, they talk about it for weeks, for months.
Right. So, Kwale, I just wanted to understand is that you are an investor and you have put money in Web3. You are a Web3 NFT investor. So I hope your money is not with scammers and it is perfectly in good shape and size.
So I invest into my own products most of the time, which is what we develop. So Sutudu is a Web3 company. The meaning behind Sutudu, stands for freedom in Vietnamese. I'm Vietnamese, but it stands for freedom. And the idea was to create freedom in Web3, hopefully using our technology. So the idea around Sutudu was, yes, we're an NFT marketplace, but we created a proprietary software application that allows for NFTs to be split. Meaning, like, say you and I, AJ, could do an NFT podcast together, and anyone that buys NFTs could have a split. We split our profits automatically we could put up to 100 different wallets together, and then we could actually monetize together. We could do that with royalties. We could do that with everything else. So when it comes to my investment to Sutudu's investment is a platform, meaning that we're trying to invest into the people that uses the platform. So if you're a music artist, you're a filmmaker, you're a consultant, you're doing redeemables, rewards, well, we're investing into them because we're investing into a platform that allows them to use it properly. and hopefully create education around it. So that's my investments around that side of things. So in hope that they could understand how to use NFTs properly. Does
Right.
that make
And
sense?
yes, yes, it makes sense. But to understand it much more simplified for our audience, and
Sure.
today is the attention economy, the creator economy. A lot of people would find this sort of a thing interesting and to try out this platform. So, Sutudo, in terms of how do they use it? Because you say you have created that
Sure.
platform.
Yeah. Yeah.
How does one get into that? Some sort of a step by step in a in few minutes, if you can tell that, it will be
Absolutely.
equally
Step by
wonderful.
step. Oh, this is a good test for me. You got to have a wallet. I would recommend a MetaMask wallet. They're the most popular one and probably the most secured one. Wallet. And then on our platform, you hit connect. You pick your wallet account. You hit connect, and now you're connected to our website. Without an email, without a name, without password, anything like that, you're already connected. And you're ready to do a transaction. The second part is that you have to buy. Currently, we're on Polygon, so you use Matic. If you want to buy an NFT, and we'll talk about that in a bit, you have to have some sort of you have to have a crypto in it. You have to have Matic to make the transaction happen. That's simple. That's straightforward, right? But you have to figure that part out. Now, the when we launch, we're gonna have 10 to 12 case studies. And these are tangible companies, meaning like if say you want to buy a think of it like eBay plus
Okay.
Etsy combined together. You want to buy this NFT, it comes with a VR headsets, whatever it is, right? It's redeemables. You want to buy a food, you could buy food on our platform as an NFT, and then the distributor will ship it to you. You know what I'm saying? By redeeming it. So it's all done by a redeeming platform. It's not like Amazon where you make the purchase and then everything is shipped right away, right? It's more like you buy it, and then when you're ready to redeem it, like a rewards, you redeem it. And that's another. So once you make a purchase, what you're gonna see, you're gonna see what we call unlockable. And so you can
Okay.
see, and when you unlock it, then you can see where you can put the shipping information, you'll be able to redeem it. That's it. It's that
Okay.
simple. There's no other complication. Now, the difference is that why would you do that not on eBay or where it is? I said the difference is that it's an NFT. It's a receipt that's printed on the blockchain, and so once you make the purchase, you own that NFT. Meaning that, let's just say you got this VR headset, a used VR headset or a new one, and you want to resell it. Well, you don't have to take an image again. You just resell the NFT, and then you have to be the one that ships it over to people. There's some holes behind that because yes, how do you know that the shipper is not going to be a scammer too?
Right.
Well, we're partnering up with companies like a shipping company, so someone that's really trusted, and they're the one that holds the money. You pay the crypto to them. They hold the shipment. They're the one that ships it out to you, and then they're the one that redistributes the money back to the seller. You know what I'm saying? So this way, because the consumers are more willing to send the money over to someone they trust versus someone they don't know who they are, if they're going to send the item at all. So we're working with companies that are verified, that's pretty established, and hoping that people are willing to do business with them, and everyone is making money off together, right? Doing business together, and then consumers are not going to get screwed at the end of the day. So our job is to not screw the consumers.
Okay. And the mode of the currency is what? The crypto.
Yeah, the we're using Matic from Polygon, which is a for those that don't know, it's everyone heard of Ethereum, hopefully
Yes.
Ethereum.
Yes.
Matic, Polygon is a layer 2 technology on top of Ethereum. So it's because Ethereum is really slow. Matic became this new technology that helps sped up the thing, but they use their own tokens for that. We are going to be building, as we expand, we're building up some more legitimate blockchains, which is like Ethereum. We're going to be working off Ethereum stuff. Anything that's legit. We don't create our own tokens. I don't believe in people creating their own tokens out of thin air and be valueless. We're using real crypto that cannot be replicated. You have to mine it. It has to be you have to be received from somebody, but you can't create it out of thin air. That's what we're working with.
Okay. And how do you see this business moving forward? Now you are at a juncture where all this sense of news around crypto, or that sense of, I wouldn't call it distrust, but some sort of people are looking for better understanding of this whole
Yeah.
space and to get more clarity. So how do you plan to build the business in a time like this, which is so much related to these things? If
100%.
that,
So
yes. How,
there's this is thing what we call the transformation, right? There's a transition period, and I'm not going to get into it, but there are six things that you have to do in order to do a transition and build trust with people. The end goal is to build trust, but it takes time to build trust. So that you need to have good leaders. So we need to bring a big leadership into our space. We need to be able to inspire people properly to do it, which means that you need to create case studies that actually works. You know, one bad case study hurts everybody else, right? So the more it's like a video game, right? It's like trying to get to the next level and trying to beat the boss and trying not to get killed along the way. That's what we have to try to do. And so the more people that we could onboard that's legit, that's credible, that wants to do the right thing, and it actually solves problems, where, whether you're solving, like, you want to buy, it could be something simple. You're selling ice cream, and you're trying to ship it across the world, but then you figured out how to send it across the world in 24 hours, wherever it is. You solve the problem. We want to work with people in that space, except that you're not working with a middleman. You're not working with an American bank system. You're working with your own system, and you're using NFTs to do the transactions. Our job is to make sure that you're a legit business. And how do you do that? Well, it's not just me going to your own office and figuring out, are you legit or not? It's more about, how do we work with suppliers that are legit, and how do those legit suppliers work with everybody else? That's how we kind of think about it. And then I think the more people that on board, it's not like, we don't try to go after it as like, I don't think about it as like, everyone talks about trying to go fast. We think of it the opposite. You go slow. You go slow, you build slowly, you build trust slowly, and hopefully that trust would say, you know what, they're a legit company. They will tell their friends, they will tell their family, you got to do business this way, mom and pop shops, whatever it is. That's how we believe is going to scale properly, because we don't think of it as building a business for 5 years. We think of it, how do we keep this business going for the next 100 years? So this way, you get into crypto, you stay in crypto. You don't get into crypto and then you say, I'm out of it. I don't want to touch it anymore. The worst thing that we could do is get a mom and pop shop business into our NFT space and hurt them. There's no point of that. They come into the space. They should say, it should be like it's like a credit card system. You get into credit cards, you stay in credit cards, you use it. You get into Venmo, Zelle, it becomes your business model. We want NFTs to become a business model for businesses and for creators. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. Now, from the branding part, I'm just asking to understand from your part, how are you using Web3 NFT for branding your business? Through
Oh
your
yeah,
example,
that's a good
yes,
one. I like that. Yep.
through your understanding, through your full space sort of an expertise, I want to get the same expertise for people who want to understand and use this for their own businesses or their startups.
100%.
That's
Well,
why.
branding
So
is
that's
the
why.
number.
That's
That's
why.
right.
Why? Yeah. So how do you brand the
Brand it.
business as well as build up your own brand, because they are so interlinked?
That's right. 100%. Well, branding is the number one, I would say, attribute to running a long-term business, right? Branding is everything. Without brand, then you're always chasing your own tail. Branding is about building trust. So when you think about like, say you're trying to court a girlfriend or a boyfriend, think of it that way. That's branding, because you got to build trust with somebody. How do you get this girl to know who you are, and how do you get them to like you? And well, you got to buy them flowers. Maybe you got to take them out to eat, right? And taking them out to eat says a lot. It sends a big message. Where you're taking them out, how much you're spending, and how much you actually really like them, right? It's the same thing with branding. When you're doing the branding, it's just like, How are you doing in a, let's say you branding is a relationship thing, right? One customer at a time. So they come in, are you giving them a good customer service experience? Are you answering their calls? When you say what you're going to do, are you doing it? You say that you're going to give them the product in 24 hours, but then you gave it to them in 48 hours. You immediately have broken their trust because you told them something that and you didn't deliver. That's so what we try to do when we think about branding for Sutudu is exactly that. We're doing podcasts. We do a commercial. We say that we're built on trust. We hold ourselves accountable to trust. We say that, hey, you're going to get a response from us by email within 24 hours or 8 hours. We make sure we have to do that. And if we don't do that, we have to be accountable for it. We say, hey, sorry about that. Here, let me do something to make it up for you. It's like a girlfriend boyfriend, right? You do something wrong, you apologize, and then you figure out how to make up so you guys could be together again. If you don't, you will break up. And so that's how we. So in the higher level of things, when it comes to branding is all about building trust. And so don't think of branding as social media. Don't think of branding as like, I'm gonna pump this flyers out and these people are gonna trust me. It doesn't work that way. No, you pump these flyers in, you get them to click, and then they can say you have to give them a reason to click. Once they click, they said, "Are you wasting my time? Yes or no?" If you're giving me a time where you're giving me something of value, education, or something like that, they'll appreciate it and they'll come back again. And then they say, "You know what? You make a lot of sense. You said what you're gonna do. And you know what? After talking to you or looking at your stuff for 30 days." I actually want to do business with you. What platform is that again? Okay. Even though your platform might be in beta, is not working properly, at least you told me. But you know what? I trust you and I know you're trying to make this thing work. I want to support you. That's branding, man. That's branding because they're going to support you and they're going to support you for a long time and you're going to give it back to the customers. Does that make
Right.
sense? Yep.
Yes, indeed. So somebody who, as a startup, what would you want to tell them anything in particular? What who are watching this space is that should they be more cautious and wait for some time if they want to get into this space, or should they be somewhat like they need to get more skills before they jump into it? How would you
I
tell
would
them?
yeah, I would say that first of all, you got to have a purpose to start a business. That's number one. So regardless of what space you're in or how you want to tackle it, have a purpose of why you're starting the business in the first place. Are you needed? Are you needed, or are you better off working for somebody else that's solving problems? My suggestion is that you go into the business, don't go after trying to make the money. Go after, is your business going to solve someone's problem? If you're like a deli restaurant or a bodega, wherever it is, you're solving a problem that people need a corner store. They need quick food, and you're serving something. You solve the problem locally. If you're trying to do it at a macro level, are you solving something on the macro level? So figure that part out, number one. Now, the Web3 stuff is that you have to see that you have to have you don't have to have a perfect understanding of it, but you have to know that do you see an opportunity in it? If you don't see the opportunity, don't jump into it. That's all. Test the Web3 with other people first. See if that works for you. And then you say like, hey, you know what? Their ideas is really good. I could use that for my model. Borrow people's model. And then once you figure it out, then go into it. Don't go into it blindly and then get screwed out of it. Or worse, you're screwing somebody else out because you didn't have an education around it. And always be in the mindset as a startup business. You're in there to help people. You're in there to impact. You're in there to solve problems. You're not solving problems by being a bad person, not helping the person out. So have a customer service mindset when you jump into Web3. That's where the opportunity. 99% of people don't have customer service mindsets. These are like artists that are just trying to make money. That's the opportunity. The opportunity is for you to not do that. The opportunity is for you to do something right. And that's how you actually brand yourself as this trusted brand in Web3. And in my opinion, that's, go slow. You got to build it one brick at a time. You cannot run before you can walk. So.
Right. So how do people connect with you? Those people who can learn from you, those people who may want to do business with you,
Yep.
and those people who may want to use your services, your Sutudu.
Yeah. Right now you could have me on. You could add me on. You could email me. It's the easiest way to doing it. It's khoa.le at sutudu.com. You could do that. You could Twitter me, but don't DM me because I don't look at my DMs. Or you could Instagram me. Instagram or Facebook message me are probably easier ways because I don't get spammed on those places. And you have my information is Quality Films, which is my Instagram, and then you have my Facebook, and you can find me on uh facebook.com/Kvibe or LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a big one for me too, and just type in my name Quali. I don't know my URL on that, but it's you could just search me on LinkedIn.
Right,
And and then from there there's so many ways, and then and I like to, when it comes to Web3, I like to connect with people. And so I like to do my Zoom calls, 15-30 minute sessions with them and get them to understand it, and get them comfortable to use it, you know?
right, right, right. And what about your podcast? How is that doing? You are also a
Oh yeah,
podcast
yeah.
host.
So we have
Yeah.
a podcast called Picture Freedom. You could just type on Apple Podcasts or Spotify and all the other majors, and you just type in Sutudu, you'll find it. And we're pretty new at it still. We're maybe on episode 10 or something like that, or 12, but we have a whole slew of pipelines. I'm a filmmaker, entrepreneur, obviously, and we're onboarding all our warm people, my network, that come in to talk about the space, and it's very interesting because of how these people are thinking about how they're using NFTs. There's a fashion company that we're working with. Phenomenal idea they got where they're using real fashion work, but be able to, like, the shirt that you wear, the shirt I wear, the creators are being recognized for it and getting a royalty for the tangible item that they're doing. Really, really cool stuff. But yeah, check out our podcast at and just type in Sutudu.
Right, right. My last question to you, Khoa, is that you have done quite well from coming from Vietnam to US and making a space for yourself. And already you are trying to do this big thing. Where from here? Where do you go from here if you see a bit into the future? Where do you
Um,
want to go? Where do you want to go?
Look, I look at this. I don't think that you could ever take your successes and your money to the grave. So, so my thing was always about trying to impact people's lives the best. And hopefully, I have two kids, and I hope that my kids are taught right to be able to help others in their future. And so we believe that, it's about giving, it's about being open minded, and it's about creating opportunities and doorways for people. I'm in the entertainment world, and it's cutthroat, and the doors are always closed a lot of the times. And when you see a door open, you have to be ready to battle, and it's not easy to get through through that stage. My role is to, whether it's Sutudu or something else, my role is to build something that's going to be sustainable for the creative community, for entrepreneurs and businesses, and to understand that, have a mindset about creating impact, whether it's small or big, but you're impacting people's lives and you're solving problems. And that's really it. If you can make money out of that, great. Not here to try to make $1 billion, but then the money. The funny thing is that the money measures your success, right? It measures how successful and how people trust your platform. So the more money that we make out of it, then I know that we're creating more opportunities to impact people. That's how I look at it.
Right, right. On this note, it's a wrap on this very special edition of the KAJ Masterclass Live. Thank you so much indeed for joining us on this show.
Thank you so much for the opportunity, AJ, and you're a really cool host. So thank you.
Thank you.